A gift for the temple in Jerusalem. A story for Shavuot. Long ago, in the city of Jerusalem, stood a very big, very important building. Some say it was the most beautiful building in the world. The building was called Bet HaMikdash, which means the Holy Temple. 3 times a year, on Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, people from all over the land of Israel would go to Jerusalem. Every year they would harvest their fields and pick the best sheaves of wheat to bring to the temple as a gift. They would choose the most beautiful figs, and from the olives that grew on their trees, they would make olive oil and save the purest and clearest oil to bring to the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Our story is about another kind of gift to the temple, a special, magical gift. In the days when the Holy Temple stood in Jerusalem, there lived a man in Israel named Rabbi Hanina ben Dosa. He lived in a small village in the hills of Galilee, far, far away from Jerusalem. Rabbi Hanina was very poor. He didn't own a house or a field, but he was rich in good deeds and wisdom. One day, before the holiday of Passover, Rabbi Hanina saw the people in his village preparing to go to Jerusalem. Ever since I was a child, I have watched the families in my village collect the first fruits of their harvest to take to the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. I have always dreamt of bringing a gift, but I have nothing to take, he thought to himself. As he was thinking about Jerusalem, he suddenly noticed a large and unusual stone on the ground. His eyes grew round and he exclaimed, "What a wonderful stone! I can cut it and polish it and then bring the most beautiful stone to the temple. It can be my gift when I go to Jerusalem on Shavuot." Rabbi Hanina ran to get his tools and started working right away. He was so busy that he almost forgot to eat. He had to make sure that the stone would be ready in time. He chiseled the stone and polished it until it was as smooth as could be. One morning, he looked at the beautiful shiny stone and said, "Now the stone is ready. All I have to do is pick it up so that I can take it to Jerusalem." But when he tried to move the stone, it wouldn't budge. He pushed and he pulled and he pulled and he pushed, but the stone wouldn't move. It was just too heavy. "I will have to find some people to help me move it," he thought to himself. He looked around and saw some farmers from his village and asked them, "Can you please help me take this stone to Jerusalem? I will give you 5 coins. It is all the money I have." "We cannot carry such a heavy stone all the way from the Galilee to Jerusalem for only 5 coins, said the farmers. Rabbi Hanina was upset and didn't know what to do. He sat down next to the stone and cried, "I finally have a gift to take to the temple, and now I have no way of getting it there." He was still crying when he looked up and suddenly saw 5 men standing nearby. He looked at them and thought, "That's strange. I didn't see them before. Where did they come from? Maybe they can help me take the stone to Jerusalem." Rabbi Hanina went over to the men and told them, "I made a special stone for the temple, but it is too heavy for me to lift and carry all the way to Jerusalem. I only have 5 coins to pay you. It is all the money I have. Can you help me?" "That is exactly our pay for carrying the stone," they answered. "We will carry it for you, but you must also help us." Rabbi Hanina was overjoyed, and together they lifted the stone. It was as light as a feather. They walked 1 step, and then another, and on the third step something truly amazing happened. Rabbi Hanina was standing at the entrance to the Holy Temple in Jerusalem with the stone next to him. Everyone was dressed in white. There were wagons everywhere with gifts of the first fruits, and everyone was happy. Suddenly the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, appeared on a special stage. He was wearing a special cap with a gold stripe and a vest with precious stones, and he blessed everyone who had come to Jerusalem. Rabbi Hanina couldn't believe his good luck. He turned to pay the men who had helped him, but they had disappeared. "Has anyone seen the 5 men who arrived with me?" he asked people, but no one had seen them. "It is clear these men were angels in disguise," answered the wise men of the city. "They came to help you bring your gift to Jerusalem." The angels help people who love Jerusalem. The Kohen Gadol looked at the stone and said, "This stone is the most beautiful gift that has ever been brought to the temple." Rabbi Hanina gave the 5 coins to charity instead and thanked heaven for the great kindness he had been shown. He left the stone at the entrance to the Holy Temple. Weary pilgrims arriving in Jerusalem were very grateful to have a stone to rest on. After the destruction of the Holy Temple, the stone disappeared. Some say it was later used to build the walls of Jerusalem, and that if you look carefully, you can find it there. Chag Sameach.